Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Gen Z Finance. I'm an older Gen Z here on YouTube documenting my financial journey. For today's video, I'm going to be setting up my 2021 gift budget inside of YNAB. YNAB stands for You Need a Budget, which is the software budgeting system that you see on the screen here and that I use in lots of my videos. I had previously made a video on my channel discussing several ways that you can budget for gifts in YNAB. If you're looking for more in-depth information or several examples, I recommend you check that video out. I did make it when I was first starting YouTube, so it's not the best video, but the information is still valid and good. In case you are new to my channel or how I handle my budget, this is my main personal budget inside of YNAB. I budget into this every other Friday when I get paid. I do have a gifts line in this budget, and this is where I track all of the gifts that I have spent money on for the entire year. I have one single line for it so that in my reports, I don't have a bunch of gifts to mom, gifts to dad, gifts to this or gifts to that. I just have one line, which is why I use this separate gifts budget outside of my main budget. And I use this to tell me exactly what I'm spending on every single birthday gift, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, and other random gifts that might come up throughout the year. So today's video, I'm just going to be updating my old gifts budget, which you can see on screen here, Gifts 2020. I'm going to be updating it for 2021 and setting it up so you guys can see how I handle gifts. As you can see, I have my categories broken out under events, and so this would be gifts for Mother's Day and Father's Day. Those are the only two events I can really think of. Birthdays for my family members, I have this other/buffer category, and then I had my 2020 Christmas budget. So we're going to keep a lot of the same structure for 2021, but we're going to update a couple of things. So let's get right into it. Over here on the left, so $236.04 was how much I had left over for my 2020 gifts budget, which I budgeted $1,200 for 2020. And if I highlight all of these categories, you can see total available left in my budget is $311.04. That discrepancy is this line item here, the Target gift cards. So at the end of 2020, Target had a 10% sale on their gift cards. So I managed to buy $100 worth of gift cards for $90. And I didn't have a person or a plan in mind for how to use those gift cards. So I decided that I would hold on to them for 2021. I have budgeted for those Target gift cards right here. It's the one line that is unhighlighted. But then the rest of this money you can see equals what is left over in my 2020 gift budget. So I'm going to move all of this leftover cash to this line item. So we're going to take 5, move that to unused.
Christmas budget, move this to unused, and then this $1 left in my mom's category, move that to unused.
And so that is $236. So at the end of 2020, I decided that I would roll over about $200 of this unused gift money to 2021, and I think I moved the other $36 into like another giving category. I think I moved it to random acts of kindness. So what I'm going to do is come over to this 2020 gift budget line, add a transaction for December 31st of 2020. The category will be unused. The outflow will be $36.04. I'm going to save that transaction and then ask myself if my current balance should be $200. So if I come to my personal budget, and we're in December of 2020, if I come down to this gifts category, you can see that $200 is what I have budgeted as of the end of December of 2020 into my gifts category. So this $200 account balance is correct. So now I'm going to add an account. It will be an unlinked checking account. I'm going to call this 2021 gift budget. I'm going to say the current balance is $0. And then I'm going to create a transaction in my 2020 gift budget for the 1st of January of 2021. It's going to be to 2021 gift budget, and it's going to be an outflow of $200. Save. We're going to reconcile this account and say it's at 0, and we can now close. So now we have the $200 that started out my 2021 gift budget. So we're going to add a transaction. The date doesn't really matter, but we'll just say this was the 1st of January. It's going to be an inflow to be budgeted. And my gift budget for the entirety of 2021 is $1,400, and that's going to include the $200 that we already have budgeted in there from 2020. So I'm going to inflow $1,200. So this $1,400 is what my entire gift budget is for 2021. And even though I don't have all of that money available to me yet in my real budget, in actuality, I use this YNAB budget to help me plan for the entire year. So I do want to have all of this money available to me at the beginning of the year so that I can plan for it. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. If it didn't, again, you can check out my first video that I did on how you can budget for gifts in YNAB, and I think I might have explained some of this in more detail there. So I've got my $1,200 to be budgeted. I am going to move this $200 that was from the leftover up to be budgeted as well. And now I'm just going to go through my categories and update them as necessary. So we've got the events, those should be good. I'm going to remove all of the check marks on these categories because I've not yet got gifts for these people. We're going to change this to 2021 Christmas. So under birthdays, I'm going to add a category called Friends B-Days. I think those are all the birthdays that I'm going to be budgeting for. So I just created that category here. So now I'm going to take this $1,400 and start planning out how much I want to spend on each gift for each event, birthday, Christmas, whatever. See if I can do 100 for Mother's Day, 100 for Father's Day, and usually this also includes the dining out for that event. So like on Mother's Day and Father's Day, we usually try to get lunch together as well. And so obviously we're going to cover the expense of either my mom or my dad, whichever day we're celebrating. We're going to cover their lunch as well. So I try to pull that money from my gifts as well. So $100 for both of those should be good. Next for birthdays, I believe in 2020 I did $50 for each sister. I'm going to do $50 for my nephew. And then let's see if I can do 100 and 100. And then for my friends' birthdays, let's do 15 for each person. And so the great thing about YNAB is it's a calculator, and I don't know what 15 times 4 is. So if I do 15 times 4, it will tell me that's $60. This other / buffer, we can actually move this down past 2021 Christmas. Okay, so I have $790 left. So $700 is what I budgeted for last Christmas, for 2020 Christmas. You can see these numbers still relate to how much I thought I would give for each person. So you can see here I had about $550 planned out, and so that was already about $150 of a buffer that I already had built into my Christmas budget. So since I didn't spend all of the $700 that I budgeted for in 2020, I'm not going to increase my Christmas budget. I am going to budget $700 again because I would really like to try to force myself and challenge myself to give all of that money and find some way in my budget to spend it on others. So there you go. I have $700 available in my Christmas budget, and that leaves me $90 left. I could put some of that here in this other category. Let's see. I could do 25. I could increase my sister's birthday giving to $75 each. And then I think I can put that $40 in this other and buffer category here. And then as a reminder, I do still have 3 $25 Target gift cards that I can use throughout the year as well if something comes up. I did put all the $700 for my Christmas budget in this line. I don't usually actually budget out all of the money, even though I have a little bit of a plan here. This is kind of a ballpark for what I could spend on them. I usually don't start budgeting out this Christmas money until like August, because that's really only when I start buying for people for Christmas. Like that's the earliest I'll really start buying for Christmas is like August, September, October. So until that time comes, I don't have an exact idea of how much I will spend on each person. And I actually have my first transaction that we can enter into my gift budget. Underneath this 2021 gift budget, what I will do is add a transaction.
This will be for today. Didn't happen today, but can do for today. The payee will be friend, category will be friends' birthdays, and the outflow will be $11.
So that was $11. And you can see I still have about $49 left in my friend's birthday line. Okay, so now I'm also going to come up to my budget settings and just change the budget name to Gifts 2021. I might as well not put a year on this budget because this gift budget will probably follow me year over year. Like I'm using the same template and structure it's the same budget that I had in 2020. I'm just changing its name and adding a couple new categories. But the reason I like this is because it allows me to go into my reports. And if I look at like all dates, it allows me to see exactly how much I'm spending on each event and or person. And so in total, I spent $431 on Christmas in 2020, which, as we already talked about, was a lot less than what I budgeted for. So that's going to be something that's important for me to increase. I spent $364 on birthdays in 2020 and then $83 on Mother's Day and Father's Day combined in 2020. Okay, and then the other report I really like to look at is the toolkit reports and then spending by payee. And since I make every person's name a payee that I'm buying for, I can see exactly how much I am spending on each person. So my dad and my mom predictively and as I like are the two payees that I spend the most amount of money on. Then I have my two sisters, and again, they're pretty even. There's about a $10 difference between them. Then I have my nephew, my brother-in-law, and then my two friends. So I like this report because it allows me to make sure I'm not giving too much or too little to a particular person in my life. I want to see that I'm giving to my sisters in equal amounts and my mom and my dad as well. And then here is the breakdown of spending by category. So most of my spending does occur in Christmas, then birthdays, then events, and then kind of like a buffer. So that is my gift budget in YNAB. So to clarify, I have one singular line in my personal budget. So I track all of my gift spending in this one line, so it shows up as only one line in my reports in my budget. I prefer this way so my main budget that I look at every single day doesn't get cluttered up. But because I just have a big pot of cash here, I do prefer to do the more in-depth planning in my separate gifts budget. And so this is what allows me to project and really make sure I'm saving enough for gifts and that I'm spending enough in my gifts as well. It tells me exactly how much I have to afford to gift people. Some people do like to kind of break out their gifts budget inside of their main budget. And again, I talk about that in my previous video that I've done on using YNAB to budget for gifts. So again, check that out. And there's lots of other ways that you can use YNAB to help you track your spending and to help you track your gifts as well. So that's it for this video. It is a short and sweet one for today, but this Friday I do have my second paycheck of January to budget out for y'all. So make sure you're subscribed to receive that notification. And if you have not yet already, please check out the last video I posted, which was a complete review of my 2020 income and spending for the entire year. That should be able to provide you a lot of insight into my life if you're a new subscriber here. And as always, make sure that you like and comment down below. And then I hope y'all are staying safe and healthy and that you have a good day.